To everyone in this room under the age of 30, you're being locked out of living in the city you grew up in. We're in a housing crisis, and we, the city's youth, are the victims. Now, it's not like we don't have a solution to this problem. We spend thousands of hours researching and analysing how to make Sydney a great and affordable place to live. But our governments are trapped, making terrible, old-fashioned decisions by people who just don't really care about you and I. So let me tell you how we got in this scenario. You may think that government officials research and analyse the best spots for new buildings, and it's true, they do. But each month, they're required to put these forward at various town hall-style meetings. Now, if you've ever had the pleasure to attend one of these meetings, like I'm often required to, you won't find a nice sample of the community all having their say. No, you'll find a room filled with rich, old, retired residents. And they will all be saying the same thing. No, you can't do this. No, you cannot do that. New housing? No. I've already got a house. Why do we need any more? These people, they're called NIMBYs, which stands for not in my backyard. Now, their thoughts and opinions aren't any more or less valuable than your own, and they do deserve to be heard. But consider it from the perspective of your own grandparents. They're not thinking 10 to 20 years ahead about dealing with the challenges you and I are going to have to face, like addressing climate change or making sure there's somewhere affordable to live. No, they're thinking about the next 6 months of their retirement and whether their investment property goes up in value. Put simply, they just don't care about the challenges we're facing. And unfortunately, they get their way every single time. So what does it mean when we keep saying no? It means our cities are coming to a standstill. There are no new homes being built anywhere close to the city centre. Instead, the existing homes just get more and more expensive, and you and I need to move further and further away to find something affordable. This vicious cycle of saying no forces young people to the very fringes of our cities. Instead of being able to live near our friends, our families, and our jobs, we are trapped into tiny, tiny boxes of houses in hot, inefficient suburbs 2 hours away from anything. And the impact this has on our cities is devastating. Our communities are being pulled apart. Our nightlife is dying. Instead of protecting our bushland and our koalas, we're bulldozing it for tarmac and concrete. Because we are so scattered, we are shackled to driving our gas-guzzling cars every single day. Saying no is more than just politics. It is senseless and entirely avoidable environmental, social, and economic destruction of our cities. All right, so now I've shown you what happens when we keep saying no. What happens when we start saying yes? What happens when we start listening to the youth of today? We start creating places for people. We create neighbourhoods with a mix of shops, parks, and offices so you and I can live, work, and play in the same area. We create townhouses and apartments of all shapes and sizes so everyone can find something they love and somewhere to call home. Even better, we can build these near public transport, meaning you and I can get across the city without needing to drive. Think about it. How great would it be if you just lived down the road from your friends and family? Wouldn't it be great if you could just walk or cycle to work in 15 minutes and save the planet while doing it? We can take all the space we've saved from building outwards and make large swathes of inner city parklands for you and I to socialise in. Rather than being in our private little boxes, we can create public spaces for public art and make a city of culture. At night, you can walk down the road to your favourite bar or restaurant, or just hop on a train to the next suburb over for a great night out. This sounds pretty good, doesn't it? This is not some far-flung future. This is something we can have right here, right now in Sydney. But to make it happen, we can't just keep hearing from those who say no. We have to hear from the youth of today who care about their future. The youth who say, yes, I want a cleaner, more sustainable city. So why don't we hear from the youth? Put simply, the system sucks. The system doesn't care if it hears from you or if it hears from the angry resident. Diversity is optional. There is no requirement that young people need to be heard. However, it really doesn't have to be this way. Across the globe, governments have been empowering their youth for decades. The City of Paris has something called a youth panel, and this panel gets to directly advise on how the city spends money on social housing or limits the use of short-term rental accommodation. However, until the system changes, you need to get up and you need to get vocal. Show your local officials that you care and that you want a solution to the problems we're facing today. Don't be a NIMBY. Be a YIMBY. Yes, in my backyard. As an urban planner who has been a part of that decision-making process, trust me, you have a voice and we never hear it. Did you know, each week, your local council and the state government post a laundry list of the various projects and proposals underway? If there's one thing I can embed in you to take away from today, it's that you need to be checking in and writing in on each one of those applications. Tell them that, yes, I want this park in my neighbourhood. Yes, I want these apartments nearby so I can afford to live within 15 minutes of my friends and family. Yes, I want more to see and do at night that isn't just McDonald's. Yes, build it in my backyard. So get out there and make sure you're building a future that you'd like to live in, because we're going to have to inherit it, whether we like it or not.